Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready for Johnny Football in the NFL because he declared for the NFL draft on Wednesday and will now be in the discussion to be a first-round pick or somewhere thereafter. A lot of people have been trying to put an accurate stamp on Manziel. Some GMs say he's a definite first-rounder, maybe as high as the top 5 to the Texans or the Jaguars, and others say they would probably draft him later, maybe second round, third round. But most of them really don't know. You don't have a general consensus. If you lined up 6 GMs across the board and asked each one of them, they'd probably give you a different grade and what his strengths and weaknesses are. Most are skeptical, though, because of how he plays and also some of the off-the-field issues, even though those issues really aren't that serious in the grand scheme of things. I mean, come on. He got kicked out of a frat party and got some courtside seats. Immature? Probably, but he's a college kid and he's starting to grow up, so maybe you should let it go. I mean, how many of you are really still concerned by the fact that he did all these things in the summer, and then he put up this huge season, Heisman-like even, as he was one of the Heisman finalists this year for the second straight year, and he carried a Texas A&M team that had a really crappy defense this year. Basically, anyone could have run or thrown on them. So, with everyone struggling to make a Johnny Manziel comparison, I'm going to make a comparison in 2 ways. One, both are serious, but one is a little more kind of like, I can't believe you just said that, I'm going to turn off the radio right now. And the other one is completely serious and all about NFL analysis. The first is that Manziel is like an Airhead mystery candy. Have you ever had one of those Airheads, the white candy, and you had no idea what it would be, but you'd be really excited to open it? Well, you'd open one up and go, wow, I really love this thing. It was the greatest thing I ever had. And then another time you'd open it up and you wouldn't really like it, but you wouldn't really hate it. You kind of just go, that was okay. And then another time you'd open it up and it'd just be completely awful. Like the worst thing. You take one bite and throw it away. Well, that's Johnny Manziel in a nutshell, ladies and gentlemen. Some of the games he's going to play, you're going to be in absolute awe. He will scramble around, make plays, be on SportsCenter, top 10 plays every now and then. He'll fit the ball into tight windows, and he'll take chances, jumping over a lineman, landing. Looks like he's going to get sacked. He's going to run out of it and throw a 50-yard bomb down the sideline. He could throw for 464 yards and 5 touchdowns like he did against Alabama. Or he could go for over 400 yards and 5 total touchdowns like he did against Duke. Then another time, he could play like he did against Missouri or Mississippi, where he had 195 yards passing and 1 touchdown against Missouri, and 346 yards and 1 interception against Mississippi. And you would say, he played okay. Then, you'd watch him play against LSU, like he has for the last 2 years, and he'd look absolutely horrific. Forcing throws, balls are going over receivers' heads. He's holding on to the ball too long, taking sacks, throwing picks, and he threw 1 touchdown and 5 picks in 2 years combined, and also only threw for 400 yards combined and rushed for less than 75 yards in those 2 games. Point is, he could be all over the map. And the more serious comparison I have for him is that he could be the next Doug Flutie. Just to give you an idea of what Flutie was or is coming out of college, here was a scouting report of him coming out of college. Great, small, athletic, outstanding foot quickness, agile, quick to set up, bouncy and always moving. Great good arm strength, a quick arm, quick release, throws sidearm or 3/4. Can zip it to the sideline, can arm the ball, natural, can pump and hold and then pull a quick trigger. Great poise, outstanding scrambler, great improvising on the move, always seems to be able to buy time. Great football instincts, outstanding mental toughness, smart, a leader on the field. One of the best I've seen, but he is still 5'9". Does that sound familiar, ladies and gentlemen? Because most of that, maybe not the leader on the field type, is Johnny Manziel in a nutshell. He's small, 5'9". He's quick. He's athletic. He's got a slight frame. He's got a strong arm. Some of the experts have been comparing him to Brett Favre with his arm strength. I don't know if he's that strong. I don't think he is, because Brett Favre was one of the best to ever play. But he's got that gunslinger type of mentality. So if you want to compare them coming out of college, also, here's the real skinny. Flutie spent 4 years at Boston College. Threw for over 10,000 yards. None of those years he ever eclipsed 4,000. The only time he came close was his senior year where he threw for 3,600 yards. He also rushed for over 900 yards, which pales in comparison to what even Jordan Lynch did this year. And Jordan Lynch isn't twice the prospect, half the prospect that Manziel is. While they aren't what Manziel's rushing statistics were, Flutie still is considered a scrambling type, even in the NFL, as he ran 338 times and over 1,000 yards in 9 seasons. Remember, he played in the CFL after 1989 and didn't come back until 1998. So we really don't know exactly how he would have played in his prime, both passing or throwing, but we have somewhat of an idea before he got older and, injuries started to pile up for him. And plus he played backup at New England his last year, and the same thing with Drew Brees before he went to New Orleans, got really, really good. But Manziel has the same build as Flutie, and probably the same health concerns as Flutie did as well. Hence, going back to the scouting report from the Baltimore Sun, that's where the scouting report came from, which was written back in 1999. That's the article I got it from. So, something I want to point out about Manziel and these health concerns is that Flutie missed some time in the NFL because of his frame, and it was probably also because he was 36 when he came back into the league in 1998, as I had mentioned before. But while we've seen Manziel get hurt, he's persevered through it all, which, shows mental toughness, shows grittiness, is a good thing to see as an NFL talent evaluator, to show that your quarterback is going to battle through thick and thin, and that's good for your teammates because they're going to want to play for him. And the most important thing, I think, that is being overlooked by a lot of these scouts is they're all saying, oh, he's going to get hurt. Oh, he's too small. If he scrambles around in the NFL, he's going to get killed. Well, he played in the SEC, which everyone considers an NFL-ready league. And guess how many games or starts he missed in 2 seasons? 0. He missed 0 games in an NFL-ready league in the SEC. It wasn't like he was throwing and passing and doing all these things against lower-tier athletes. He was doing it against some of the best athletes in the entire country and future first-round picks. And he was also dominating them, too. So to sum up, whatever happens to Manziel, though, just know he may never be the greatest quarterback or the worst quarterback in the NFL. But just like an Airhead Mystery Candy, you're going to be excited every time you see him play. And no matter the result, you won't know the result, but no matter the result, you're still going to always watch him and always be entertained by how he played in the NFL.